These days, every house, street light, road sign, bus shelter, office and factory uses electricity, so every one of them has an electricity supply cable running to it. In rural areas, many of these run overhead and are clearly visible, but most cables in built-up areas are buried underground.
There are underground cables of all types and sizes, like those behind me, buried everywhere. Normally, they're a safe distance underground, but they can pose a risk to anybody who digs up or puts anything in the ground. I'm Steve Loveridge, Safety Manager for Western Power Distribution.
We distribute electricity to about 7 million homes and businesses in the Midlands, South West and South Wales.
My message in this video is dig safe and avoid damaging underground cables.
Underground cables range from high voltage cable running at 400,000 volts, which supplies thousands of people over wide areas of the country, down to small, low voltage cables supplying individual street lights. They can be in places where you don't expect to find them, and they represent a serious danger to anybody digging, whether manually or mechanically. If you cut into an underground cable, the electricity blast and electrocution can cause serious burns, leading to disability, disfigurement and even death. But it doesn't stop there. Damaged cables can interrupt power supplies to homes and businesses, and you could also endanger life by cutting off traffic lights and interrupting emergency services and hospital equipment. There are also very large repair bills and possible health and safety prosecutions to think about.
So it's really important before you start work, dig safe. Always ask us to provide plans that show you where our cables run.
The best way to do this is to contact us as soon as you start planning your work.
Good morning, Western Power Distribution.
Contact our MAP response team on 0121 623 9780 or fax 0121 623 9223. Alternatively, email wpdmapresponse@westernpower.co.uk. We also provide an online mapping service at www.westernpower.co.uk/location plans.
Good morning. My name's Paul. I've come to pick up some cable plans for the office.
Ideally, get in touch with us at least a week or so before you start work to allow for postal delays. But if you can't wait, come into your local WPD depot and we'll print the plans out for you. And if you're not sure how to read the plans, please tell us. We'll be happy to help. Remember, our plans are no use whatsoever shut away in a filing cabinet or left unused in the cab of your vehicle. So keep them with you and always look around you. If you're digging nearby poles, then look out for cables that might be running down them. And also remember that every bus shelter, street light, road sign, factory, business and house has a cable of some sort running to it. Be particularly wary when working near substations like this. As an example, this substation has 6 cables coming out of it. With cables everywhere, use the equipment available to help you find them. A cable locator should be employed together with the plan. This is because new developments and road improvements may have changed the surface layout since the underground cables were laid and the plans drawn up. Make sure someone on site is competent, knows the kit and is aware of its limitations. Mark any cable routes you locate with a waterproof marker and try to give the excavator a clear guide of where the cables run. There are also telltale signs to look out for. Scars in the tarmac indicate previous excavations. Generally, if there's a trench there, then there'll be a cable or pipe. Remember, cable locators are only as good as their operators, and it's unlikely that any location will be inch perfect. So always prove the location by taking careful trial holes by hand. If you smell, hear or see anything that might lead you to believe the cable is faulty, stop work and call us immediately. Don't get caught out thinking underground cables are only laid in the towns and built-up areas. They're also laid across the countryside. So look out for markers like this, and if you're in any doubt at all, ask us for a set of plans. Once you've found the route of the cable, dig cautiously until you've established its depth and its exact run. Try to avoid the use of forks, spikes and breakers until you know for sure where the cables are, and certainly don't just plough in with a digger. Generally, we aim for our cables to be 450 millimetres deep, that's about 18 inches. But there's no minimum depth, so please don't rely on this. They can be much shallower. The messages in this video don't just apply to people who dig deep in the ground. They can also apply to people who drive long objects into the ground, like these metal fence posts. This could include fencing contractors and even estate agents who use these for sale signs. This fence post is easily long enough to damage underground cables. The person that damaged this underground cable with a metal fence post risked a very serious electric shock. They cut off the power to several dozen customers and also received a very hefty repair bill. Once you've found out where the cables run and how deep they are, you can use a mechanical excavator if you wish. But remember, the cables are flexible, so they do change direction quickly and can snake through the ground. This is the reason we recommend that you stay at least 450 millimetres or 18 inches away from the cables. Once you get near to the cable, there should be tape or tile covers like these, but they might have been removed, so please don't rely on them to warn you. If you come across concrete around our cable, there's no safe way to break this out while the cable is live, so route your excavation elsewhere if you can. If you can't, contact us immediately. And please don't ever concrete in our equipment. You'll just be creating a dangerous situation for somebody else in the future. If your excavation goes deeper than the cables, always assume they are live and support the cables and joints that you undermine. And never use cables as steps or supports for other equipment. Protect cables against damage that might arise out of your works. Cover them with granular material, sandbags, or place a sheet of plywood over the cables as temporary screening. Remember, they need to be protected because they are live. Try to keep the cables covered to minimise the risk of vandalism when the site isn't manned. Once your job is complete, backfill the trench with care. Use graded backfill or stone dust around the cables, and always replace or renew the cable tiles. We'll provide rolls of new tape free of charge. If you damage a cable, however slight the damage might seem, and even if you've only skinned it, stop work, clear the area and call us immediately. Please provide a precise location and your contact number, and we will attend as soon as we can. Electrocution from a damaged cable can cause terrible burn injuries and even death. So stay away until we tell you that it's safe to return, because even if the power seems to have been turned off, it could come back on at any time without warning.
So remember, any contact with our cables can be potentially dangerous. Always ask us for records before you start work, and if you're in any doubt about anything, stop work immediately and ask us for advice before going ahead.
So for copies of plans and maps, please contact our map response team on 0121 623 9780 or fax 0121 623 9223. Alternatively, you can email us on wpdmapresponse@westernpower.co.uk. Remember, We also have an online mapping service which is available at www.westernpower.co.uk/location plans. If you need more general information and advice, please contact us on one of our general inquiries numbers, which are for the Midlands 0845 724 0240, for South Wales 0845 601 3341, and for the southwest of England 0845 601 2989. You can also email us on info@westernpower.co.uk. In case of emergency, we also have emergency numbers, and these are for the East Midlands area 0800 056 8090. If you're in the West Midlands, 0800 328 1111. For South Wales, 0800 052 0400. And for the southwest of England, 0800 365 900.
I'd much rather you used them than had to call 999.
So remember, get plans and use them on site. Use a cable locator. Dig trial holes by hand. Backfill sensibly and replace tiles or tape. Protect cables from damage and yourself from danger.